The clown who followed me home. Life is strange. Unusual situations occur so unexpectedly, leaving you with nothing but fear and unanswerable questions. Something like that happened to me. The memories still haunt me today. It was during the season of winter. The sky would go dark after 4:30 p.m. I had been taking extra math classes at school, so when I returned home, it would be pitch dark. Thankfully, my friend Julia would accompany me, but my house was still 15 to 20 minutes far from hers. I had to walk through a narrow alley, where the street lights weren't even functional. I remember that particular day very vividly. After Julia left, I was slowly walking through that alley when suddenly, I noticed someone walking strangely ahead of me. I was confused about whether I should walk faster or slower. If I walked faster, then the strange being would walk behind me, and that would be even dreadful, but if I walked slower, then I would reach home really late. I began to pace up. As I started walking fast, I noticed that the person that was in front of me was no longer there. I was shocked because that road was straight and there was no way that the person could have disappeared. I didn't give it much thought and kept walking faster. At that moment, ignoring seemed appropriate. After about 10 minutes, I heard someone whisper my name. The voice calling my name was really unfamiliar, so I paused to look around. Suddenly, I saw a tall black shadow behind a tree. I stood still, trying to figure out who it was. Just then, the person came out. He was wearing a clown costume, and his makeup was also smudged. I always found clowns creepy, but this one was beyond. The clown made direct eye contact with me and began coming closer. All of a sudden it murmured, "I am so sad," and began weeping. The tears wiped away its thick makeup, revealing burnt, like pale skin. The more tears that dropped from his eyes, the makeup came off, and his real face started to reveal. In front of me was not a clown, but a person with broad white ghoulish eyes, pale burnt skin, 2 holes in the place of the nose, and an uncanny frown. I never used to get scared easily, but his face made the shivers run down my spine. I was terrified and began running towards my home. Thankfully, I reached my home. I didn't tell anyone anything, thinking no one would believe me. That night, I had a hard time falling asleep. Finally, I slept but woke up at around 3 a.m. by a terrible nightmare. In my dream, I saw myself at the same spot where I had seen the clown. The clown kept saying that it was sad and started following me to my house. I ran inside my house, then to my bedroom to find the clown lying on my bed. "I found you!" It screamed in laughter. My body was drenched in sweat when I woke up. The dream felt so real, so I rushed to the washroom and began washing my face. I felt really sick and didn't want to go to school, but my mom forced me. While going to school, I walked the same path, but everything seemed normal. I must have imagined stuff, I thought. At the end of the day, I almost forgot about the clown and began walking the same path normally. But I was wrong. The clown must have lurked during the daytime. When the sun set and the surrounding became dark, it came back. It seemed like he was waiting for me in the same path. This time, he looked insanely creepy. "I came to your house last night while you were sleeping," he said, and began laughing. The laughter didn't continue for long. Abruptly, tears started flowing from his eyes, and in a sad voice he uttered, "I am so sad." I was frantic with fear, but I decided to disregard him and walk away, although I struggled to keep myself calm. Just then, the clown kept his hand inside the pocket and took something out. It was a sharp Swiss knife. Then he began to cut his face. "Now, I will never be sad," he said as the blood began to drip down from his face. In no time, the clown started to laugh crazily. I could feel nothing but blind terror. Instead of running away, I became numb and kept glaring at the clown that kept coming closer. In no time, it hit me that the clown was just a few meters away from me. My legs were wobbly with fear, but I began to run as fast as I could towards my home. But no matter how far I went, I seemed to return back at the same exact spot where I had seen the clown. Dread twisted in my gut, and I understood there was no way that I could escape. With my trembling hands, I began to wipe the sweat from my forehead. All at once, I felt something, a tight grip on my left leg. I bowed down to see that the clown was laying on the ground with his hands clasped around my left leg. The deep red blood was dripping from his mouth to the ground. I pushed aside the clown with my hands and began to run. When I turned behind, I saw the clown running towards me by crawling on the floor. Then after that, I don't remember what happened. When I woke up, I was in my bed. My neighbor told me that she had found me unconsciously lying on the ground while she and her husband were returning from work. I became remarkably sick for days. Whenever I was alone, I would see the clown standing in the corner of my room. So, I told my family everything, and we decided to move to a new neighborhood. After that, my health improved, and thankfully, I never saw the clown ever again.